We are live here. It's the Michigan Football Report, 5 o'clock Eastern Time here on Wednesday, December 28th. Folks, look, it's like 8 years almost to the day that Jim Harbaugh was hired as Michigan's coach. I think today was 8 years to the day that it was like Harbaugh's accepted the job, now he's going to fly, and then went and showed up and became the head football coach for the University of Michigan. Folks, we are going to let the audience build up here for about 5, 8, 10 minutes or so. Let's get things rolling. Let's ask you where you are watching from. Shout out your city in the live chat. I'm going to give a few shout outs here to start the show on the Michigan Football Report. Let's see who is in the live chat so far as I bring it up here. We got Bryce. He says, I did see, Bryce, that video of Eddie George singing the victors wearing a Michigan jersey, and then he flicked the camera off at the end, which I guess kind of was funny as well. Russia, Ohio. Is that a place? All right, Russia, Ohio. Chi-Town, where else? From Mark Majkowski, Columbus, Ohio. My guy, James in Ohio. You are a winner there. James Williams. Englewood, Florida, from Chris. Who we got? Scotty says, go blue. Let me see. Daniel, hail to the victor and the victors. Go blue, beat the Horned Frogs from Michigan football. What do you think of the idea, Brett? Someone said we should sacrifice a live frog on the show today. Yeah. I kiboshed the idea, but I entertained it for a second, but animal lover, so we couldn't have anything like that. Keep shouting out your cities. Flint, Michigan from Jacob. Pitt, Alicia, McCroy from Detroit. Frostburg, Maryland. Go Blue from Brewer. Thanks so much for watching. Brewer, appreciate you. Albany, Georgia from Go Blue. Defiance, Ohio from Chad Zolman. Mark Sikora says Cary, North Carolina. McConnell, Ohio from Mark Miller. All right, guys, we are going to have 3 different parts of the show today, and really one of the parts is a 2-4. So we're going to start off with today's top news, talk about, make sure you guys know the latest injuries that have kind of come out of Michigan's couple practices so far and where things stand. Then we're going to do a live Michigan football Q&A. We're going to then transition to our final Michigan TCU preview in advance of Saturday's game. We are now, 71 hours away from kickoff. And then at the end of the show, we're going to do another Michigan Football Report, an MFR. If you're an MFR, join, use hashtag Michigan, or you can super chat, as always, to get on the show. So make sure you are using hashtag Michigan. Put your comment at the top of the producer queue if you want to be part of one of our Q&A mailbag sessions that will get rolling here in 20 or so, 25 minutes or so. We'll do our first one. Keep it rolling here. Would you say there, Producer Brett? Wow, last show MVP. There we go. All right. Wolverine Alaska was the MVP of our last show, our leading super chatter. He hit us up with something like $160 for Wolverine Alaska. So big time thank you to Wolverine Alaska. Now, I want to show you guys a couple of these things. We've officially filled up 2 helmets, and thanks to, shipping, Amazon said the next helmet is not going to be delivered for a couple more days. So I have quite a few helmet stickers to put on here, but I've got something special for you guys. Here's the leaderboard. So we're letting the audience build up. We've got about 6-7 more minutes until we dive into today's content. Want to give a few shout-outs. From last week, Iceman Comp 25, John Blaze, of course, Cruel Moti, Cody Miller, Jeremy Clore, Clayton Amboy, Rick Harfer, again, Rick's been a consistent one, Neva Bold, 11, Brad Bootgerite, Shane Johnson, of course, been a bunch of shows. Jeremy Clore, I think I already mentioned him. Cool Moti, Cody Miller, and some others. John Blaze, how about this one? Cole Usatalo got in there as well. Last helmet, we've got some of the same names. You guys are just crushing. We've got a big-time group of super chairs. Mr. Bojangles, Josh Sherwood, Rock City from a couple shows ago, Dan Farrer, Stephen Mers, Josh Sherwood, among many others, Dominic Franchillo. So what we're going to do, guys, that's leaderboard. Whoever is top of that leaderboard at the end of our show in February, so we're going to have a show in early February for signing day. Whoever's the top leaderboard, I'm going to send that helmet filled with dollar bills. I'm also going to send this Blake Corum signed Michigan football. Whoever's in second place, they're going to get the second helmet, and we're going to have to figure out some way to incentivize them, turn in an awesome kind of experience. And who knows, we're waiting for the third helmet. We might give away 3 helmets, 4 helmets. We'll have to just kind of decide how things shake out. If Michigan goes to the national title game, it could get insane. We might send out 10, 15 different helmets, and we will see how things go. Michigan 71 hours from taking on TCU in the college football playoff. Folks, the Michigan Football Report is brought to you by Fetch, the free app that allows you to scan your receipts and earn points that can be redeemed for gift cards to your favorite stores, restaurants, and online retailers. It's super easy to use. Use the app to snap a photo of your receipts from purchases at any store, or click the e-receipt option, and Fetch can connect your Amazon account, and you'll earn points for all shipped orders. Plus, connect your email and earn points for every e-receipt. Anytime you take an Uber, order from Instacart, or any online purchase, those points then can be redeemed for gift cards at your favorite stores or restaurants. From personal experience, $60 in the past year by just scanning my receipts, connecting my Amazon account, I have gotten from using Fetch. It's available on iPhone and Android. You see how easy it is to use on screen. Use our link, the bottom of the screen. You've seen it, chatsports.com/Fetch. Enter the promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at sign up for 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a free $5 gift card to get started. It's a free app. The 5,000 bonus points is only for a limited time, so get started now. Chatsports.com/Fetch. Enter promo code CHAT. That's C-H-A-T. We'll put the link here in the live chat in a moment, and it'll also be down in the description of today's live video. Chatsports.com/Fetch. Type it into your browser. Drop you in the iPhone or Android store to download the app, and then just use promo code CHAT to get started. Support the show, support our sponsors. Sponsors like Fetch allow us to continue to keep this show on a daily basis for free. So go download the Fetch app. No sweat off you. It's a free app, and you get rewarded for it. Chatsports.com/Fetch. Use promo code CHAT. All right, continue to roll the show. Let's get to 100 likes here on the Michigan Football Report ASAP. Looking at the dashboard here, 22 likes. Sheesh. Not bringing it just yet. So 130 plus viewers, 22 likes. As we're going live a little earlier than we have in the past few weeks. We've either done it earlier in the day or a little later. It is 5:07 in the East Coast. So make sure you are liking the video. We're at 41 likes as we're now up to 132 viewers. So like to viewer ratio, not where we want it to be. 46 likes. We'll get to the show here in a moment. But we always like to start the show with 100 likes. Why does that mean? It puts this show in the YouTube feed of people who potentially have never heard of us. So it's basically you're helping us out by allowing us to market the show to other Michigan football fans who do use YouTube as their platform. Brett, while we're here, I'm going to refresh Twitter, and so we have that pinned tweet. Guys, in a few minutes later in the show, we're going to ask you guys to get at it with some pinned tweets. So I guess it didn't send out yet. Well, maybe it didn't send out yet because I don't see it there on my Twitter feed. So nevertheless, we are rolling here. Predict the score. I'll give some shout outs here. Put your score predictions in the YouTube live chat. Let's see who has it. I've got 35-15 as my score prediction. I want to know what you guys are thinking as well. December 28th, 4:02 p.m. It just, you know what? I did what I told myself not to do, Brett. It was scheduled for 2023. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Let me do. I told the whole team, guys. I said, hey, Twitter's defaulting to 2023 when you schedule a tweet out. Don't schedule something for next December. What did I do? Scheduled something for next December, like a total schmuck. But there it is. I just tweeted out the link to the show, so it should be right there on my profile. Make sure you guys are predicting the score. I will give shout outs right now. Let me know what you guys are thinking on this score prediction. Michigan, TCU, 71 hours from now, as that is now pinned to my profile, that tweet. Let's take a look at the live chat, see what you guys are thinking. So scroll back up here. $10 super chat coming in from Dominic Franchillo. Dominic, you have been on the helmet before. I'm going to write, what's that, Brett? All right, we will show the super chat menu, and you are on there, Dominic. So let me get his sticker. Dominic Franchillo, and today is 12/28. So Dominic, you were going to kind of get double star because as we wait for the helmet, I want to give a shout out here to I'm going to put new stickers along with our kind of twin pillars of super chat. So quick shout out here, Wolverine Alaska, last week's super chat that showed up on screen, Brett. That good. Wolverine Alaska, on our next helmet when it gets here in a couple days, we owe you 15 helmet stickers. Wolverine Alaska. Now we got a few of them on this one, right? So don't think we missed you, but where we left off, 15. And then John Blaze, we owe you 12 helmet stickers added. Dominic, he will go on the next helmet for that one. So here's the super chat menu as we are getting ready to start the show. Talk about some Michigan football injuries. All right, so $5. It's beer cheers. Somebody gave me a Truly as I walked in the studio. I don't know, kind of chick drinks, whatever, not my thing. But I'll drink it until it is gone. They're not bad, though. They're not bad, okay? They're not bad. The people saying, you like them, James? I don't think so. $5 is a cheers, plus I'll answer your question. $10 get you on the helmet sticker, enters you to get towards the Super Chat leaderboard, and we'll give you shout-outs on every single show. $20 is the wheel spin. Producer Brett will show you the wheel here in a second. $50. Now, this is an interesting one. We've got 2 other live shows going on here at Chat Sports right now. One on our main channel. It's Chat Sports on YouTube. It's at Chat Sports or /Chat Sports TV. And then we've got our Raiders Report, which I still think is live. I'm going to slap the Ohio State fan who is hosting. He's from Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, hosting the NFL Daily Show right now on Chat Sports. So I'll leave here, go to the next studio over, slap a man live on camera, and then come back here for a $50 Super Chat. And then $100. Had a little bit of embarrassing performance. Broke a 15-year beer brongless streak. Not necessarily a chugger, but brought the bong back. We did a couple of these last week. First one went all over my computer. Second one kind of spilled down my shirt. Nevertheless, we are going to bring it here on the Michigan Football Report, but this time we're prepared. Plenty of paper towels. All right, let me actually give those shout-outs that we get back to. How about this one, Brett? NVR Bubba. Yoder, every time you come on, my 1-year-old smiles and zones in. Let's win a national title for the Michigan babies. I am a new father again as myself, 6-month-old daughter. Let's give some of these shout-outs. Mr. TDB 123 and Griff Randall both liked. Thank you so much for liking. Griff Randall, he is back. Wolverine says 38-20 Michigan. Dominic, who gave the super chat, 34-17. Go Blue. 52-17 from Michigan Football 4. Outdoor Montana asking about the transfer portal. Outdoor Montana, if you use hashtag Michigan, we can get to that question, put it on screen here in a few minutes. 35-23 from Daniel Smith. Chad says 39-24 Michigan. Rob J, 42-20 Michigan. And then Mark Miller, 38-24. Let's kind of scroll down. I'm going to have to skip over a few. I apologize. James Williams, 42-30 Michigan. 45-24 from, who was that? That was Jaishker Beckham. One says 45-24 Michigan. How about this one from Mark Matchkowski? Get a German boot or British Yard for a beer. What's a German boot? Do we have one of those?
Well, yeah, that's the boot.
Okay, go grab it. I'm not going to do one of those because I got to drive. So, I got children to put together too.
I want to look up the British Yard thing.
Okay, British Yard. We'll look into that. Mark, we've got a bunch of boots around the office. Some of the other guys who are a little younger than I am, they do them. All right, we've got a super chat coming in from Dylan Carson. He says, what do you think of R.J. Moten moving to linebacker? It's part of the show here. Stick with us, Dylan. We're going to get to that in 6-8 minutes from now. It's right towards the middle of the news segment here to start the show. Now, R.J. Moten lost his job towards the last 4 or 5 games of the season, kind of after Penn State-ish, to Makari Paige, and we'll talk about what his position change means for this team. All right, one more question before we start today's show. Let me know what your preferred holiday is. Just what's the better holiday? Is it Christmas? Or is it New Year's Eve? I'm going to be spending my New Year's Eve working, right? Because we're going to be here. I don't know if I'm going to break my I said I'd go live an Ohio State game if Michigan was up by double digits in the fourth quarter. I didn't do that. I thought I'd jinx it, and they'd have 20 straight points. But now I really want to go live for the TCU game. So maybe we'll just go live after the game, but we will definitely have a show either on demand 20 minutes after the game or a live show. Oh, there he is, John Blaze, Wolverine, coming in hot, John. You have got... John, check this out. Since we're waiting for the helmet, I don't know if you saw this yet, waiting for the next helmet, we have filled it up with John Blaze and Wolverine Alaska and Blue Wolverine and so many others. John, we have got a poster board for you. You got 12 more stickers that we couldn't get on the most recent helmet. That's coming on the next one. And now we got to add 5 more, right? So I'm going to write that down right here. I'm going to write John Blaze. I'll get your question in a second. There was a 50 burger.
And you got to run in and slap Tom.
Okay, so John Blaze.
So hold on. Let me get the link. Man, it's going to be right in the middle of a
12:21. I'm going to put John Blaze times 5. So, John, you are on there. Guys, just stick with us. It is 4:14 in the Central, 5:15 in the East. John, you are getting a sticker right there. So, John, we owe you now 17 stickers. I think the next helmet I got to order 2 now because it's you and Wolverine Alaska are basically getting the next helmet as you guys have been part of filling this one up. Make sure we add him to the leaderboard, Brett, as well. John Blaze, Wolverine Alaska on there. Toss that up on screen, Brett, so we can see what's John Blaze. And, John, this football
Dylan's
is going to be yours. Dylan wants a slap? Slap an Ohio State fan? Oh, baby, we got another 50 burger? Dylan, my guy, you're going to film a slap, Brett. I will film it on my phone.
I think you got to go do it.
Can we film it on my phone?
I think you take your phone with you.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Like kind of like POV,
okay.
and then just slap him, come back.
Okay, probably too much work that we didn't prepare for to like highlight cut and toss in the show live. But maybe, I don't know if we can, maybe a little screen record or something like that at some point. We'll see if we can grab it. But Brett, if you want to put the link to that live chat in there, we could say, go over there, make sure you guys come back. So let's see what it says. Slap the Bucknut, go blue, beat TCU, Real One, Bosa, John Blaze, our MVP. You are getting there. And then
Travis,
Dylan says,
we'll get your super chat
you're going to film the slap, go blue. Guys, I'm going to take the headset off. I'm just going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to not mess around.
All right, James is off the mic. He's going.
Give me a second. We'll
he's got to tweet
it out or I'll put it on.
He's got to take the microphone off of its hinge because it's up the back of his shirt. So this ought to be funny. All right, so I put the live the link to NFL Daily in the live chat. James is going to go over there. Tom doesn't know it's happening. James is going to run in, slap him. Tom is live doing content right now, like actual video about to happen. What'd you say?
Tell him to go right now to the link.
All right, go to the link. Go to the link, then come back, of course. All right, he is going. He is out of the room. Tom is in the middle of an ad read right now. I don't know if our sponsor will like that so much, but here it goes. He's about to walk in. Oh, he's in there. Oh, he slapped him. Did you guys see it? Oh, 2 slaps. He's right in the middle of an ad read, too. So this was something. Thanks, John. Thanks, Dylan. Travis, we'll get to your super chat here in just a second as well. We will make sure that our ad sponsor knows what happened there because that was right in the middle of an ad read. You know that now?
Yeah, I don't think I got the slap. I wound up.
Yoder's back. I'm back. Grade the slap if you saw it. Grade the slap.
Okay, I am going to.
He's back now. He's going to tweet out the video. We'll get that.
Let me watch it really quick because I don't think I actually got the slap on camera like an idiot, but it's on screen, right?
It was on screen on the actual NFL Daily. Steve's back. He says, haha, it was hilarious. Okay. Michigan Football 4 says that was awesome. All right. Cornelius, that was great. So it seemed to work out okay. All right. Steve does say kind of weak. LOL. It was a little weak.
I slapped the shit out of him. I really hit him hard.
I think we got to take that one off the menu. We can't probably have that happen anymore. But you guys are something else.
Can you actually grab? Can we grab the?
I can get the Twitter link.
Well, the Twitter. Can we grab? It's not. It does, like I put the. I was slap. I moved the phone like an idiot. So can we actually grab? Maybe,
get the Tom video. Yeah, I can highlight cut it.
But not a highlight cut. Can you just timestamp it?
As like a clip.
Yeah. Take it off screen for a second.
And put it in the live chat.
Yeah. No. Like, can you like timestamp like in the show, like the live, like you timestamp the live.
Yeah. Okay. And just put the link to some. Yeah.
Yeah. See if that works. Why don't you pull me up screen for a second?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're fine. All right.
That's a little logistically challenging, but
yeah, that was fun. If nonetheless.
If you tell them, if people haven't seen it, they can scroll back a minute, right? You'll see it's right in the middle of the ad read.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Oh. Okay, guys.
He's almost back. Actually, you can't timestamp while it's live.
Okay. Well.
Oh well. All right, Travis here. We're going to get to Travis's super chat, and then we're going to get into the news and rumors of the day. So Travis, his name is Travis, Mr. TDB123, while you get your mic set up. What do you think of Edwards' irritation at constantly being asked about the loss of Blake Corum for the season?
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay.
He's back.
It's pretty. I guess he did the right thing, I thought, at the end of the Big Ten championship game when he was named Big Ten championship game MVP, which was basically say, hey, I just came in here and I tried to follow in the footsteps of the best running back in America, kind of his mentor. You can tell when you see those guys on the sideline, like they have arms around each other. I don't think there's any animosity. Now, what happens in the future, right, if Blake Corum, like I said a couple days ago, 60% ready to, I think 60% likely to come back next year. I think the media needs to stop doing it. I'm guessing it's not the local media or anybody associated with around Michigan. And my assumption from watching is this these questions are coming from the national media, the TCU media, the college football folks, the blog boys that don't necessarily cover Michigan. And I think they need to stop because I think actually right now Dononvan Edwards might be the best player currently in college football based on his last 2 weeks' performance. 3 touchdowns, 400 yards, 401 yards rushing. The MVP of the Big Ten championship game, 2 longest runs for a Michigan player in Michigan-Ohio State history. 75-yard touchdown, 85-yard touchdown. So I think he needs to stop, and I appreciate the question. Mr. TDB, a.k.a. Travis123. I've got his helmet sticker I got a helmet sticker for him, right? So we're going to get down there. He's going to go on the board. Let me get him Mr. TDB123. All right, Mr. I'm going to put the Mr. separate, so it's Mr. TDB 123. Today's date is what, 12/28? All right, guys, we will start rolling with the show. Do we have any more questions, Mr. TBD? Until we get the next helmet, I'm going to put you up there with the current leaderboard. John Blaze got you on the board with John Blaze Wolverine, who now we owe 17 helmet stickers to. John, you're getting your own helmet. Probably getting the big thing of dollar bills, probably the Blake Corum helmet as well. Coming up, we're going to talk Michigan football injury and news. A lot of injury news has come out of these first couple practices in Arizona. Kind of give you my take on what it means for this team, how healthy Michigan is or isn't. Then we're going to take your questions, do about 10, 15 minutes of Q&A. Then we'll dive into my Michigan TCU final preview, followed by another live Q&A here in the Michigan Football Report. Make sure you guys keep watching. Make sure you guys keep liking the video, hitting it with hashtag Michigan so you can get on the Q&A, which we'll put up on the channel Friday, and then we're going to put one up on Saturday morning leading into game day. Keep those super chats rolling. We got another hour plus of content. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. We're rolling right now. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Roan. Folks, the new Roan commuter collection is amazing. I'm wearing a Roan shirt. I got Roan pants on. Let me tell you what, they are amazing. Get 20% off your order at roan.com/chatsports. Promo code chatsports. The link's in the comments and the description of the video. You are watching the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, James Yoder, as we are now days away from Michigan TCU. Potentially the biggest win in Michigan football history coming up on Saturday. I know the opponent isn't the kind of opponent that you would necessarily put with that type of statement, but maybe people say, well, the win just November 26th, a month and 2 days ago against Ohio State, that's the biggest win maybe in program history. I think a college football playoff win for the first time in history, that would take the cake until they win the national title 9 days later. Let's start the show. I'm going to ask you guys who your favorite Michigan football player of all time is. Mine, it's always going to be Charles Woodson. I happen to be a funny story. I'll tell a quick Yoder story. Ran the field, young boy, maybe I wasn't that young, but went on the field in 1997 after the Michigan-Ohio State game. Somehow, I was the first person standing by the tunnel when Woodson came back out of the locker room with the rose in his mouth. I jumped on him. Fast forward 20 years, me and him did a couple events together in San Francisco, and we talked about it. He doesn't necessarily remember it, but he certainly remembers the day just as much as I do. So kind of met him as a boy, met him as a grown man, hell of an experience. Charles Woodson, my favorite player. Mitch says Woodson. Woodson's for Jersh Beckham says Woodson or Braylon. Braylon would be my number 2. And then Jimmy James Jameson, thanks so much for watching again. He says Woodson the GOAT as well. All right, let's kind of take a look at the top stories of today. How about this just unrealized stat from, I think, college football fans and Michigan fans alone. Michigan, when they take the field against TCU, will only be the third program in college football playoff history to go into the playoff multiple times as a top 2 seed. People say, well, no, Georgia's done it. No, Georgia hasn't done it. They were the number 3 seed last year. They were the number 3 seed in 2017. They made it one other time, right? Yeah, they did. Where they were. So they've been the top 2 seed one time. Oklahoma's actually been a top 2 seed one time. Clemson, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. Have they ever done it? I don't know off the top of my head. They were number 4 seed in 2014. I don't think they've actually gone in as a top 2 seed ever. No, they had to have. They did. They would have in 2020 when they beat Clemson in back-to-back years, maybe 2019 as well, or one of those years, obviously not the other one. So that is a pretty cool stat. I think where Jim Harbaugh has taken this program, folks, in just 16 months. I mean, coming out of that 2020 season, everyone wanted to fire him, and now you're putting up stats like that. Michigan, Clemson, Alabama, the only 3 programs in the CFP era to go into the playoff top 2 ranked 2 or more times. These are the uniforms that Michigan is expected to announce on Friday. They will wear the all blue sleeves, cleats, socks, and then maize pants with the blue jerseys, of course, the traditional homes with the blue accents. That was tweeted out by Swanky Wolverine. To my recollection, He is now 6 for 6 on the year with nailing these predictions. So his word is as good as mine. I think clearly he has some sort of connection inside either Nike and Jordan or inside the program with regards to the uniforms. He tweets out these awesome edits. He's got some of the best edits in the game at Swanky Wolverine on Twitter. I don't think we'll see another one until maybe a few days before Michigan National Championship game coming up in a little more than a week. All right, guys, do you like this rumored uniform combo for the CFP semifinal against TCU? Let me know in the comments. Give it a Y for yes and for no. I like it. I like the big game blues, but maybe they're overplayed. I would love to see maybe all mazes, but maybe it's not the time for it. Potentially next year they'll wear them, but all mazes. And one day, I love to see Michigan wear the inverse, maize jerseys, blue pants. Recruits have been tweeting it out for several years now, but they're going to go with the traditionals. I like the decision. Some of the best uniforms. John Blaze saying hail yes. Chad Zolman with a Y as well. Forrest Pham, he's saying bring back the 97 away jerseys. That was a big topic of conversation last week. A lot of people were saying 97 away jerseys. I didn't understand it, didn't get it, but it is back in there on the live chat. So give me a Y or N. All right, Matt Weiss, some rumors that have just started to pop up that we've semi-confirmed, but I did want to make sure you guys aren't caught off guard as we kind of, 11 days left in this college football season, right? 12 days, I guess, to the 9, 3 days left here. Matt Weiss is expected to touch his toe, right? His agent is already putting out word, from what we're hearing, to the NFL, potentially seeing if there is an offensive coordinator role for him. He spent his entire career, basically, his adult career for the most part, kind of, outside of his mid-20s with the Ravens, spent 12 different seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. And if his NFL job out there, just like Mike McDonald last year, his career was in the NFL, his interest in the NFL, and he was going to be going with Jim Harbaugh last year if Harbaugh took the Minnesota Vikings job. So we'll see how it shakes out. I wouldn't begrudge him, right? He doesn't owe Michigan anything. I think he's given Michigan everything that they've gotten out of him. So if he does take an NFL job, I think as long as Sharon Moore stays on, I'd hate to lose both those guys in the same year. But Matt Weiss, NFL, potentially. I'm not saying he's going to get the job, but don't be caught off guard by those rumors. Guys, I'm sure many of you are just like me and have a social life, have parenting responsibilities, heck, even go to the golf course sometimes while on company time. Well, I've got the solution to the hassle of changing clothes between your daily activities. It's the Commuter Collection from Rome. Athletic dress pants, shirts, and apparel. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Rhone stepped up to the challenge. I'm wearing Rhone's commuter shirt and commuter pants, both part of their Commuter Collection, which is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man. And here's why. Rhone helps you get ready for any occasion with the Commuter Collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants, shirts, half zips, and polos. You'll never have to worry about what you wear when you've got the Rhone Commuter Collection on. Rhone's comfortable 4-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy what life throws at you, from your commute to work to your 18 holes of golf. It's time to feel confident without the hassle. With Rhone's wrinkle-free technology, wrinkle-release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the products. It's that easy. With Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. Guys, I've been sweating all day, and I still smell pretty good here. On top of that, Rhone is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch that dry cleaner altogether. Look at this performance fabric. I can stretch this bad boy out. You can wear it to the golf course. You can wear it to a party. You can wear it to the office. You can put a sports coat with a suit and tie on it. As I said, 100% machine washable. Personal endorsement from me on this one. I just want to tell you guys, I absolutely love the Rhone commuter pants. They are amazing. They feel like suit pants, but they also then kind of feel like sweatpants, and this commuter shirt is amazing. Comfortable, flexibility. Going from the office to grab sushi, drinks, or even a movie, head to a ball game, baseball, football, whatever it is, and I feel fresh after wearing it all day long. Go to Rhone.com/chatsports. Use that promo code chatsports, one word, for 20% off your order with Rhone. How about RJ Moten? We got this question earlier in the live show. Switching positions, it reported yesterday, going exclusively to linebacker for the college football playoff season, for this game against TCU, and obviously presumably for the national championship game when Michigan beats TCU. So here's your opening day starter. And then they started rotating him, Rod Moore, and Makari Paige. And then about 8 games in, Makari Paige started to get all the snaps. RJ Moten's role was taken back a little bit. So what this means necessarily, I think you can tell, is that Michigan really doesn't trust the depth in their linebackers behind the two starters right now. Michael Barrett, of course, and Junior Colson. And they know they're going to need more linebackers against Georgia. Not necessarily against TCU as much, I don't think, but against Georgia, should they play that game, definitely going to be playing a different style of offense or defense than they did against Ohio State a few weeks back. That's where this R.J. Moten role comes into play. If he gets in there, plays well, he could kind of be in that two-deep rotation next year, get more playing time at linebacker, because it seems like Makari Paige has taken that job for him. And with Rod Moore only being a sophomore, not necessarily a high NFL draft prospect next year, I think those two guys might be your starting safeties for at least the next 2 seasons. So we'll see what happens with R.J. Moten. If he is convinced he's staying at safety's his future, he's a potential transfer candidate after the playoff, but we'll see how that shakes out. I'm not going to make any predictions as of now. Are you guys headed to Glendale for the Fiesta Bowl? Let me know in the comments down below or the live chat. Give me a 1 for yes, 0 for no. We just booked our flights to the national championship game. So if I've got to go out there and watch TCU, if I get to watch TCU play Ohio State, I might self-harm. I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke here, but I would be so disappointed that we've already booked flights, everything, non-refundable at this point. So I'll be at the national championship game on January 9th in LA. We'll not be going to the Fiesta Bowl because, you know what, there's other things going on. So we'll be out there for LA. Let me know what you guys are. We got quite a few zeros, but Forrest Pham, he's giving it a 1, so he's going to be there. And LJ Wolverine, just like me, saving it for the Natty. Appreciate you guys. Keep commenting in the live chat and down in the comments if you're watching this later on Wednesday evening. Dononvan Edwards, we showed you yesterday, we showed you on Tuesday that he is in a cast, right? It's a smaller cast. He was hiding his hand. I think Michigan put out a video social about like the players getting off the bus and all this stuff. Didn't show his hand there, his right hand either. But Dononvan Edwards got that surgery about 3.5 weeks ago. New cast, smaller cast. It's a black cast, not that big white, club that he had for a while. And reportedly, this new cast is small enough that he is able to catch the ball and hell, even maybe tuck the ball at certain times in his right hand. So a renewed opportunity in the passing game is what we are seeing from Dononvan Edwards. So don't be surprised if, where we didn't expect him to catch any passes the last 2 games, if you see him out of the backfield catching 2-3 passes against TCU. And for Dononvan Edwards, I said this on our show yesterday. I did want to reiterate it for anyone who didn't catch that one is, you look at his stats. 400 yards in the last 2 games. Ohio State, legendary 2 plays, 2 of my favorite plays in the history of football, no matter what the team, no matter what the year. 75 yards, 80 yards, 85 yards. He can be the Ezekiel Elliott for Ohio State, right? Ezekiel Elliott kind of came out of nowhere, had 11,050 yards going into the Michigan game, ended the season with 1,870-some yards. Dononvan Edwards with a big-time game against TCU, with a big-time game against Georgia or Ohio State, can match that. A legendary performance. You see 47 carries, 401 yards, and 8.5 average, and 3 touchdowns. I didn't keep mentioning Zeke. What am I talking about there? Zeke Elliott, if you guys remember, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns against Ohio State, 220 in the Big Ten championship game, and 2 touchdowns against Wisconsin, then against Alabama. 230 yards, including an 85-yarder himself. They called right through the heart of the South, and then 4 touchdowns on 246 yards in the national championship game against Oregon. 93 carries, 817 yards, and 10 touchdowns over a 4-game stretch to win the title for Ohio State. I think that's what we can potentially see Dononvan Edwards if he is, as we're expecting him to be fully healthy, and Michigan puts him in a spot like they clearly have done recently. If you think about it, his 13 career touchdowns at Michigan, 6 of them over 60 yards, I think was what I read yesterday. Big-time plays is what Dononvan Edwards is all about. I'll put this number in front of you guys. Give me an over or under. Just comment it. Dononvan Edwards coming up on Saturday afternoon, Fiesta Bowl, CFP semifinal, 125 yards, over or under. I'm going to go over on this one. I think I made 15 different predictions. I'm gonna go 146 yards, 2 touchdowns for Edwards. The live chat is easy over. I don't see anybody with an under, so let me know what you guys thinking. Dononvan Edwards over or under 125 rushing yards. We've been telling you about Andrell Anthony over the past couple weeks, 10 days or so, potential injury, ankle injury. Made the trip to Phoenix, is at practice with Michigan. But as you see in this photo that kind of leaked out there from some of the beat writers, he is not in full pads, did not participate in practice with Michigan on Tuesday or on Wednesday. So as we are expecting him to not necessarily be a part of the game plan, if anyone's expecting him to be part of the passing game plan, I think he might play, but I don't think he's going to be a big part of the game plan. Maybe they'll save him up for the national title game, but as of now, he is not practicing. Doesn't really matter, right? He has not been an impactful player, less than 10 catches so far this year, several opportunities downfield where he just can't come up with the ball, cannot outclass a defensive back to go get the ball, and as such, Ronnie Bell, Cornelius Johnson as of late, especially Luke Schoonmaker, who's been hurt a little lately. We haven't heard as much from him, and then, of course, Roman Wilson have been your top pass targets. But how about Colson Loveland? I think could be a differentiator in this game as well. So didn't participate in Tuesday's practice, and that is the latest on Andrell Anthony. All right, guys, more injury updates. Olu Oluwatimi was pictured a couple weeks ago when Michigan accepted the Joe Moore Award for back-to-back best line in all of college football. Some people call it the Sharon Moore Award. Did you hear that one? They might rename it Sharon Moore, formerly Joe Moore Award. Seen with a boot on. Non-surgical injury and has been 100% in practice the last 2 days. So if you've seen those pictures, if you see any speculation on Olu Oluwatimi, he is ready to go. Apparently tweaked his ankle coming out of the Big Ten Championship game, but not anything that's going to keep him out in the 4 weeks between that game and TCU. How about Nikhai Hill-Green was named as starter at the linebacker position coming out of fall camp, injured, and then we kept hearing him. And I told you about 7 weeks in, I said, he hasn't played yet, guys. He's not playing this year. I mean, it's just that simple, and there was speculation all over the internet on Tuesday. He made the trip. He's back. He's been practicing. He's back. Didn't practice, is almost in a coaching role as of right now, has yet to play this entire year. I don't think Michigan needs to hold a year for him or redshirt him or anything like that because it doesn't matter. He can play 4 games, still get his eligibility. But even with the COVID year, it doesn't matter. But they're not going to put him in a situation where he has been, not in football shape, not to play that this year. Put him in a game that, might decide the national championship for Michigan. So don't expect Nikhai Hill-Green to play, not practicing, more in a coaching role, and how maybe that's what his future is at this point for this program. All right, guys, as we are approaching 26,000 subscribers, I do want to remind you, if you have yet to do so, make sure you subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. We're the most watched, listened to, consumed show on covers the Wolverines across any platform. That includes TV, radio, Detroit radio, Ann Arbor radio. We're doing twice the Detroit radio, 3 times the Ann Arbor radio guys as far as total monthly audience, TV shows, etc. 25,390 was the number when we started today's show. Subscribe if you haven't. If you have, you like the show. If you know Michigan football fans, I know a lot of you guys are in group chats, text chats with 4, 5, 6, 10 of your buddies from college, wherever. Send the link to the show. Have them subscribe. Have them join into the fun. How about Mike Morris? From practices the last 2 days is now 100%. I gave my update a couple days ago. I said 90% by game time. We're hearing 100% ready to go, preparing for TCU. The defensive lineman of the year for the Big Ten did not play against Purdue and only had 11 snaps against Ohio State. So, folks, other than Blake Corum and maybe Andrell Anthony, Michigan is 100% healthy going into this game unless something catastrophic or really, unfortunate happens over the next couple of days. Michigan's practicing here Wednesday. They'll have a light practice on Thursday and then walkthrough on Friday, game day on Saturday. So expect Michigan to be 100% healthy unless we see something come up here in the next few days. Mike Morris healthy, Olu Oluwatimi healthy, and Dononvan Edwards, although his right hand is still in a cast, is actually able to catch passes with this new lighter cast. Don't expect him to throw any balls like he did last year against Iowa, that deep pass to Roman Wilson, but definitely catching and running the ball. He is healthy. What are you guys going to do on New Year's Eve? Michigan wins, advances to the national title. Let me know what your plans are. I haven't even thought about it yet. I got to do a show here, and then what happens? I might just pour a bottle of champagne on myself, although I'm expecting a national championship this year, so we still got one more game after that. But it is New Year's Eve, so be safe. But make sure when you're in a safe place, you're around people that make sure no one's driving or anything like that. Celebrate, as much as you can, as much as you can handle. Michigan beats TCU, goes to their first national championship game, really in college football history, because Michigan has not been there since things went to bowl games. '97, they still played in the Rose Bowl against a top 10, but certainly not a top 2 Washington State team. The spread of this game is Michigan 7.5-point favorites. The over-under stays at 58.5. Nothing has changed in this one. So if you're betting out there, you guys know what to do with BetUS, our sportsbook partner. Michigan 7.5-point favorites. I think they're going to do this. My score prediction, 35-15. 5 field goals for TCU, 5 touchdowns for Michigan. If you are watching and you're a Michigan football fan, help me drown out the haters and losers that from TCU, of which there are many, who keep bombarding our show comments with, their Horned Frog BS. Ohio State guys are still doing it. We're going to get revenge for you, blah, blah, blah. So make sure you're scamming Go Blue. The production crew is deleting all those comments in the live chat that people are saying, Horned Frogs, Go Bucks, blah, blah, blah. If you're watching on demand later on Thursday or Friday morning, make sure you guys are typing Go Blue to represent Michigan and drown out the haters and losers. We just finished up the injury and news portion of the show, so we are going to now dive into our Michigan Football Report Q&A. If you have yet to do so, make sure you're using hashtag Michigan. It goes to the top of the queue for the production. We see the live chats. We see hashtag Michigan. I see one from Michigan Football 4, so we'll get to those questions. Ton of Go Blues coming in. William H., Steve Reichert, Forrest Pham, Barron, Norman Beers. I hope that's your real name because that's an awesome name. After that, we're going to go with my Michigan TCU preview. I got this truly I got to finish while we're between segments here. Let me do that a little bit. Go Blue from John Blaze. John, every time I see in the chat, if we're not doing a segment, I'm holding it up. We owe you 17 stickers, John. We got right there times 5. Then John Blaze 12 helmet stickers. You are the man. Also shout out Wolverine Alaska. We still owe him 15 helmet stickers. You guys are gonna have the entire next helmet. Brett, why don't we show the super chat menu?
James, hold on.
Breaking news.
Hold on. Okay, super chat menu. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
$50 slap OSU fan live.
Okay.
Guess what?
What? You got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Let's go watch it.
Okay.
Should we leave Yoder on mic?
No. Maybe. Why not? Okay.
Why not? You'll be on mic.
Okay, I'll be on mic. I
We'll
don't
both
have to talk,
be on mic.
Okay.
Let's see what it looks like.
Okay.
Here goes. We are flipping over to NFL Daily. Tom Downey getting slapped by James Yoder thanks to John Blaze and Dylan Carson. Go.
Scan your first receipt. That's chatsports.com/fetch. Hey! He did it. He did it again.
I hit him one more time here, actually. If you guys get this one. I was trying to film my phone by
Here he
turn.
goes. Okay, hold on. We'll do it right.
He says, hold on. I kind of.
Mid-fetch rebound.
I'll take it easy anytime. I'll take it easy. Boom. All right, 3 slaps. So we got a free slap there. Thanks so much to the behind-the-scenes crew here. NFL Daily by Chat Sports. That's youtube.com/ChatSportsTV, or now with the new @ symbol, which is youtube.com/@ChatSports. They are live 2 studios over from us, and I went in there while I was doing an ad read, so I hope our sponsors, Fetch Ad Read, don't necessarily cancel us for that one, but maybe we'll just have to trim that one out of that show. So
Tom
make
was
sure
like,
you guys,
I'm mid-fetch right now.
Yeah, I
and
got
then you just smacked him in the face.
Whenever I've had to take off this headset and put it back on, it's never the same. Whenever I do the show, it's never the same. It's always kind of pulling on my back and all this different stuff. Carl Corlo, my guy, says TCU sucks. I like that question coming from Dark Guido. We'll get to that one in a second. Make sure we get that Dark Guido one for the live Q&A. All right, guys, let's kind of keep it rolling. As we said, we in news and rumors on injury front, we just went through. Use hashtag Michigan. We are going to start rolling on the Q&A, but make sure if you guys want a shout-out, I'll do about 60 seconds here of shout-outs. Just type me in
let's get that
the
chat
live
rolling a
chat.
little bit. We did get over 100 likes.
Get over 100 likes. So appreciate you guys. We're at, as of right, I'm seeing 111 likes as we're coming up on 250 live concurrent users, so our viewers. So appreciate everyone who is watching the show. Me from Chunk XD. Carl Cordell says me. Jim Harbaugh's not going to the NFL. I agree with you, Carl, there. Appreciate it. Barron is giving a me, so we're giving him a shout out. I'll stop saying me. I don't have to kind of redundant a little bit. Outdoor Montana, Leon DeMote, Preston Yoder says me. Andrew Lane. I like that question about Mozzie Smith. Ken Torkelson says you. Thank you, Ken. Show my attribution to James Yoder. Turbo Webb, Sam's brother, apparently. He given to me. Michigan Football 4, Austin Young, Jamieson, Jeff Gubala is a me. Make sure you guys are subscribing as well. Got 20 more seconds or so of me as I give more shout-outs here. Oh, John Blaze, Wolverine, chug. Will Michigan have a high-powered offense and defense next year? Hashtag Michigan. John Blaze, bang! You on there?
He wants to see you try the beer bong again.
All right.
And don't we all?
All right, okay.
Because it was pretty horrible last time.
Okay. Can I get a cold? No, warm beer's maybe better, right?
One?
No, I got one right here. John Blaze, now times 10. John, you've pretty much won. I don't think there's any way anyone can catch you. Let's update the Super Chat leaderboard as well. And again, Wolverine Alaska, look, this guy's running a clinic here. He's in the medical professional. He's not making it say, which is okay. He'll make a comeback. We'll go live potentially on Saturday. John Blaze, you are now owed 12. What was that? That was 100 spots, so 10. So 22, 5, 27. So I got times 10 right there. So John, 27 stickers. You're by far the MVP of the Michigan Football Report. We're gonna put you in the onboarding and outgoing credits, I think, at some point. John, the football will be yours, and I think you filled up an entire helmet. I think this helmet has like 48 different stickers it fills on. You've almost got your own helmet, which I'll have one delivered here in a couple days.
We gave him the gold medal.
Okay, so
he's got the gold medal.
I'm gonna give a few more. Let's see. Oh, your wrong predictions. JD commits and over the NFL. I don't know what Bill Kramer says. Bill, I can't be writing everything. I mean, what do you mean? Do own up on predictions? I mean, what do you mean? I don't live inside the Schembeckler Hall. I give you good information. Sometimes it's wrong because things change, right? I don't even know. I was supposed to eat chicken for lunch today. I couldn't even predict that I ended up eating pizza, so I can't get everything right. Whether Corum goes or not, I didn't expect him to get an injured and have to have surgery on his ACL. All right, I'm gonna have to do a beer bong here. Let's do a poll, Brett. Do we want to do either in the live chat? Or do we want to do a poll on there, whether we should do the beer bong now or after the Q&A?
Well, it's my decision.
Okay.
We'll do it after the Q&A.
After the Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay, John, we're going to get to this in a second. Producer Brett's got to keep things on task here, so we will have it prepped and ready. I got the beer bong right here. We're going to take about 10 minutes of questions. That's kind of limited to 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes from now, we will do a beer bong with John Blaze Wolverine. Have got this bad boy for you. So appreciate you, John. You are the MVP. I saw Michigan Football Report presented by John Blaze Wolverine. That is what it is. From LJ Wolverine, John gives the LMFA, laughing my effing ass off. Appreciate that. Let's keep it rolling. I'll give some shout outs here as we start out. If you retweet the pinned tweet that I have on my Twitter profile, I will give some shout outs. So give about 60 seconds. Anybody wants to retweet that, you are getting a shout out live from me and a follow back. I'll follow anybody back as well. Mark Sakura, I saw him in the live chat. He retweeted John Blaze. It's at John Blaze Wolver. So basically John Blaze Wolverine. Just get rid of the INE, and that is John. So check those. You guys follow back. Anybody retweets it, follow them back as well. So you kind of grow your own Michigan Football Report, Michigan football community here on the show. So the link is in there. Give me a retweet. It's about 20 more seconds. I only have 2 retweets so far, so no one. We don't have a Twitter crew here in the YouTube live chat as of yet. We'll move on to it in about 10 seconds. 10, 9. Anyone want to retweet me? Distribute the show, etc. Not getting any retweets, Brett. I guess the people just aren't on Twitter, so let's keep it rolling from there. John Blaze Wolverine. We have got a. We got a beer bong coming up for you in a couple minutes. Certainly appreciate everything that you have done for the show. You're watching the Michigan Football Report Q&A with our live audience. We're going to put this up on the channel, I think, on Friday. So appreciate everyone who joined the Wednesday evening live show. We're going to take your questions. So if you're watching the live chat, use hashtag Michigan or Super Chat. We'll get you on this mailbag cut. Let's take some questions here on the Michigan Football Report. How many tutties do you think McCarthy will have? I would say my prediction is 35 to 15. So I will say J.J. McCarthy will have 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown in the game. I got to think that the game may play out similar to Ohio State or even Penn State, where it's a close game at halftime. Despite my keys to victory saying Michigan's got to start strong, because TCU might be the best close game team I've ever seen in college football, right? Go look at their schedule, how many one-score games they have been in, won them all except for that last game against Kansas State in the Big 12 title game. But Michigan could be the best second-half team maybe in college football in the last 20 years, hell, maybe in history. So I think J.J. McCarthy, 2 passing, 1 rushing is how things will shake out. Those other 2 touchdowns will come from Dononvan Edwards. Becky and Chad, how many rushing yards will J.J. have? I mean, he hasn't really blown it up this year from a rushing perspective. Now, I think what we're seeing from J.J. McCarthy, Ohio State game, he just hit some passes, and he got confidence. It continued on through the Purdue game. Although he wasn't high percentage pass against Purdue, he threw a pass to Colson Loveland for that first touchdown that he just wouldn't have thrown earlier on in the season. Now he's at 4 weeks. It's almost like another fall camp, but he's not splitting snaps with Cade McNamara. It's not spring practice where he's only getting 15 practices splitting snaps, which he missed. Now he's been the guy. He's been taking every snap with the ones going into this game against TCU. I think you're going to see a very confident J.J. McCarthy. Michigan's going to take more shots downfield. But from a rushing perspective, I'm going to say 35 yards. I think he'll have 1 or 2 impact rushes. TCU is going to they're going to try their best to stop the run. I don't think they will stop the run. They're going to try their best. What that's going to lead to is much like you saw Ohio State. They're going to collapse on Dononvan Edwards when he gets the handoff. And one at a time, maybe 2 of those, J.J. McCarthy is just going to eye that defensive end, pull it back, cut up field for 25, 30 yards. It'll be a big-time impactful run. So I'd say 40 yards. Let's go to a solid 40 yards against the Horned Frogs. The Dark Guido, are we rooting for Georgia rematch, or are we rooting for, what does that say, the generic Acorns? I like that. That's the Buckeyes, generic Acorns, because we know we can beat them. Do we have the question? I think it's a good chance to go to, what people are Ohio State or Oregon. I've asked this question a few times. Oregon, Georgia, a few times in most recent shows. Who are you rooting for? What he said there was very accurate. Give me a G for Georgia, O for Ohio State. What the question was there was very accurate, was Michigan can beat Ohio State, and if they got the chance to rematch them, I think they would beat Ohio State. But I don't think the risk-reward is there for me for Ohio State, because a loss to Georgia I can deal with. Michigan will be preseason number 1 next year. They're going to have another chance to do it. But if we get a rematch against Ohio State and the Buckeyes pull it off, they come up with a better game plan, they win the game, even if it's in a fluke play or something like that, they win the national championship. And in some ways, it kind of erases the last 2 years of memories for me of success against the Buckeyes, because they will have the ultimate boom on the rivalry. We won the national title by beating you. So I'd rather lose to Georgia than even give Ohio State the chance. But I think Michigan's going to beat either one. But that's who I am for. I think most people are rooting for G. They don't want to see Ohio State even have a chance at a rematch because they don't deserve it. Ishmael Williams, will Mozzie's legal situation impact his decision to go pro? No, I don't think it will. I think it's a really good question, but I don't think it will, because he is leading into that situation a few weeks back, 4 weeks back. He was 100% going pro. Now I think it's 99% going pro. I think if he, some reason after the national championship game, if he gets feedback that he has dropped out of like this top 3 rounds, then he might consider coming back. But guys in this position, big interior defensive linemen that can move, that can make plays, that aren't just fat boys that take up space. Guys like Mozzie Smith just don't come around very often. And you saw Bruce Feldman from Fox Sports call him the biggest freak in college football. He's jumping up 7 stairs on those things. You kind of at the bottom of the stairs, you jump up 7 stairs. He is going to test excellently well at the combine. And I don't know if he's going to be a first-round pick anymore because he didn't put up the huge stats. But I think worst case second round, and as such, he will go to the NFL. Chunk XD says, if Michigan wins the national title this year, do you think Jim Harbaugh will go back to the NFL? I've heard rumors of the calls. Jim Harbaugh now apparently has an agent. So I don't think that's officially been announced by anybody, but Harbaugh's got representation to deal with his next contract. I think that contract's going to be a 6 or 7 year extension that kind of takes him through maybe like 2029, 2030 with Michigan, but he's going to field calls from the NFL. Now, what this might mean is you might hear more rumors than you normally do, because agents like to put rumors out there to make one side show some love. But I don't think he will go to the NFL. But never know. You accomplish everything he wants at Michigan, wins the national title, beats Ohio State back-to-back. This would be the time to go. What's different about this year than last year, though, is that last year there were 2 jobs that were ready-made winners. The Raiders, coming off a playoff appearance. The Vikings, we're seeing what they're doing this year. What's the record, like 12-3 right now? There is not that team out there right now. The Colts are in shambles. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a ton of talent, right? They've been in the playoffs, but they're not ready to win. Who, the Texans? No. The Broncos? Hell no. I wouldn't touch that job with a 12-foot pole. So unless the job comes available, someone retires or someone steps away that we're not expecting, that's ready-made winner with a quarterback who's under 26, the job that Jim Harbaugh would have to take is a job that he will get fired from 2 or 3 years down the road. I don't think Jim Harbaugh wants to make that his legacy. All right, we put the word out. You guys didn't ask me for it. We did it. The Don t-shirts, right? Only 100 are available. $29.07. They gave me a price range. I picked the price based on this. Got something in my mouth from, I don't know what that is. $29.07. I don't know. I got something. I think one of these props in the show just kind of popped in my mouth. The Don 7. So if you guys have not followed along, I think it's the best nickname in Michigan football history. Gus Johnson, 2 touchdowns. Dononvan Edwards, touchdown, Michigan, the Don, right? So that is the t-shirt, $29.07, where we picked that one. So 07 is, of course, for Dononvan Edwards. 2 is for the 2 touchdowns he scored against Ohio State. And the 9 in the 29-7 for his backfield teammate, J.J. McCarthy. $29.07 is the price. Only 100 available for sale. Can we toss that in the live chat if you get a chance, Brett? Michigan, chatsports.com/Don7. It's chatsports.com/Don7. I actually got it. Don7. It'll be down in the comments and description of today's video or in the live chat. Only 100 available. I will have one next week, so make sure you guys are joining the elite crew. If anyone's wearing this in LA for the national championship game, we are having drinks together. We're partying all night long after Michigan wins the national championship game. Elevate Trainer 3000, who will lead Michigan in receiving yards against TCU? Interesting question. So I think we had it up there early in the show, Brett. So if you have the chance, let's take a look at Michigan's receiving leaders so far this year. We're going to just kind of set the stage for who my prediction is, because I don't think it's who everyone will predict, because he's not been a starter most of the year. Ronnie Bell, Cornelius Johnson, right? Huge game against Ohio State. Massive game. Remember, like over a third of his yards this season came against Ohio State, 2 of his 6 touchdowns. Luke Schoonmaker, is he healthy? We'll see. Roman Wilson, more of a big play guy, hasn't necessarily jumped out, and is a consistent deep or over the middle threat. But I think it's going to be this guy here, Colston Loveland. I think J.J. McCarthy's passed to him down the sideline in double coverage, coming off the touchdown where he ran an excellent route, juked out a linebacker, then kind of broke away from safety to score the touchdown against Ohio State. I think it's going to be a Colston Loveland breakout game because TCU is not going to be expecting it. They are not game planning for the guy that 5-6 weeks ago was Michigan's 4th string tight end. He's going to get a ton of snaps. He was starter level snaps last few games. Big time play. Touchdown against Ohio State in his 1 catch. Touchdown against Purdue in his 1 catch. J.J. McCarthy went to him in double coverage, and the guy came down with the pass. True freshman. I think he's going to be one of the best players in college football 2 years from now. He's a junior. I think he's going to be an emerging star next year. And I think you can see like a 4-catch, 85, 90-yard performance out of Colston Loveland. I got him down for one of those 2 McCarthy touchdowns that we are predicting. Who you got in this one, folks? Give me an M or a T. I'm expecting it to be mostly M's, but I don't like necessarily, it's just like with anything in life. I hate being, just somebody who goes with the flow. I have to say Michigan's going to win every time. If Michigan's not going to win, I don't think they're going to win. I will predict as such. If you watched the show 3 years ago, I was incredibly critical of the coaching staff, the game plan, and performances Michigan had, and I predicted them to lose a bunch of games. I do think they are going to win this one, so I've got an M. I'm going to type my M in the comments. I'm going to light the comments up here a little bit on the live. It's almost been 100% M's in the live chat. Let me know down in the comments of the on-demand. It's going to go up on Friday. Let me know what you guys think. Who you got, Michigan or TCU? Give me an M or a T. Hashtag Michigan. Thank you so much for using the hashtag from Jaisher Beckham 1. He says, what position will Harbor choose if he comes? Because I don't think he'll want to play defensive end because of the weight gains he'd have to make. So that would mean no track. Would he go wide receiver? I think it probably is like Devin Funchess. It's probably the best Michigan assessment. Who's the guy from Florida? Kyle Pitts, right? Kyle Pitts, if you watched him at Florida, he hasn't, done as much. He's been a decent player in the NFL, but a wide receiver, Gronk, is a good example. I mean, Nicholas Harbor is one of the all-time freaks in college football, in high school football recruiting that's going into college football of the past decade. Now, he's the top 20 player. He's not the number 1 player overall. And the track situation comes into play. I've kind of explained him to people. He's kind of like Usain Bolt with 15 extra pounds, a little slower, obviously, as a football player. So I think wide receiver, defensive end, he's going to think gives him the best chance to go pro in football or track, but be able to play both sports. If you're playing defensive end, I think you end up dealing with a lot more injuries, have to battle guys hand to hand, and you get an injury there. It could impact his track career, which he actually thinks he has an opportunity to be an Olympian later on in his his career, I guess. All right, bunch of haters and losers. Ohio State football with Scarlet and Great. Those guys are on YouTube, so if you check their channel, go just tell them how much of bums they are and whatever it is. Okay. OH, baby, Stroud is your daddy. Explain. What? He's just not, though, right? He's just not, all right? This is the quarterback. Think about the last quarterback to lose twice to Michigan. I mean, I don't want to take a shot at Michigan here, but give me a break here, Johnny or Corey, those hosts over there at the Scarlet and Great. I mean, we got to go back to Eddie, what's the guy's name? Joe Germain or something like that? Not Joe Germain. Who was the guy in 1995? I'm missing his name for Ohio State, 95, 96, 97. That's how long you got to go back-to-back years. I mean, Ohio State made the worst decision in the history of the program before the 2021 season. Starting Coleridge Stroud one of the mentally weakest quarterbacks that has ever played in the Big Ten, especially one that was a 2-time Heisman finalist. Not your daddy. Stroud, good luck. Come back to Ohio State. Come back to Loud. Just type Go Blue. You see this guy in the comments, an Ohio State fan, a complete, troll, hater, and, of course, loser. So type Go Blue. Make sure we don't get any more of those. I'm surprised we put that in the we know the guy a little bit, so we put him in the live show. So thanks so much to everyone who got their question is. Baron, Ken, and others are typing Go Blue. Carl, says Carl Stroud is soft as Charbon. Green arrow as well says Go Blue. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching today's mailbag. Go Blue. More coming up on today's show. We just hit our Michigan Football Report Q&A. Going to have another one of those coming up in about 10, 12, 15 minutes or so. Well, a little longer than that because we got to do the beer bong, don't we?
Yeah, we'll get to some more questions.
We'll get some more questions, so keep using hashtag Michigan. Hashtag Michigan. I like this question from Sean. He says, can we make a Michigan TCU NCAA 14 stream from James?
I saw that one.
Is Harrison working tomorrow? He's off till Saturday.
He's out of town,
Man.
That'd be pretty funny.
James
is bad at NCAA 14. You guys remember that?
No, I'm only bad because of the shoddy production job that we put together delayed. I mean, 1 second delay on that. So we've got our
get the beer bong in
inside
here,
Michigan. John Blaze Wolverine. If you guys... They're sending me in the production room, James, you should wait till later to do the beer bong. We got more show. I think we should do it now. Let me know. Type in the comments now or later. John Blaze, James runs all verts. It's kind of like that. Just it's defense. We just blitz, man-to-man coverage, all-out blitz, and then all verts, deep pass on offense. Now or later. Seeing a lot of great questions coming in from guys like
you're trying to stall down.
LJ Wolverine. I'm seeing some stuff coming in from Rob J. Appreciate that. Bowman Investment Group. Whoa, got a cop in the comments? Cop?
Or somebody that's looking to invest.
You want to put some cash into to a burgeoning, exploding sports media company, Bowman Investment Group. All right, now is the consensus. So I guess we're doing it now. As I think I got to get this fan on me because I don't, this is going to be, okay, where's the beer at? Okay. Well, is this, okay, this is the close to the open. I came up. This is the close, right? Sideways to the close?
I do the shot funds. So when it comes to this, I'm not your expert.
Can you just ask somebody so it doesn't be a disaster anymore? Is this the way to keep it from stuff? I think that's what it is, yeah. That's open, right?
This is open.
Okay.
So that's closed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But either way, it just tilted upward.
No, that's the problem. I thought that was the case, right? It tilted upward, and the second I took this off, that's what happened.
You've got it.
The second I took it off, it like...
That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly. Right in the face. All right, guys. I like that Bill Graves would potentially be a juggernaut next year. This is the number one team in the country to start 2023. You've got 3 or 4, Will Johnson, Dononvan Edwards, J.J. McCarthy. You got 3 of the best 10 players in college football next year. I just said that Michigan has the potential to be a juggernaut next year from Bill Graves a second ago. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to take the house up.
coming back, and as long as that defense stays together.
Yeah, Brett, you want to take over on the mic for a second?
All right, I got you. I'm going to keep you on the screen, though, so you're just hearing the guy behind the screen, headless voice right now. Let's get some more shout-outs in the chat for you guys watching us. Carl says, don't spill the beer. Carl, good advice. Mark, of course, is watching. Xavier is in the chat. James, what do you think about Sonny Dykes' comments about J.J. McCarthy? Did you see those yet?
No.
Let's check those out.
Yeah, I saw his comments from Monday, but I'm not sure if there's something new that happened today since we've been live.
Says he saw some comments from Monday. Bill, stop. Harbs told AD no more NFL. Stop bringing it up. We're not the ones that bring it up, Bill. John Blaze, what is he back? Chug. John Blaze, I hope you're watching. Sean says James just runs all verts. James doesn't know what he's running on NCAA 14, guys. It's woof. LJ Wolverine, hashtag Ohio State football with Scarlet and Great. That man went to get a pack of marbles in 2021 and nobody ever saw him again. Johnny and Corey, they're our guys, but Johnny came in with a bad troll job. You got to be a better troll if you're going to troll, right?
At least say Urban Meyer's our daddy.
That would work. Urban Meyer was the daddy, that's for sure.
Okay, I got to let the phone come down.
All right. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a disaster, you guys. Don't get it on the shirt again.
All right. You see that?
This is classy beer bonging with Roan.
Roan. See, this is why Roan's so great. Is I can do a beer bong and I can toss a sports coat on and go have some sushi with a go on a date or something like that. Who knows?
NB10 wants to know where we at in AZ Michigan fans. Let's meet up.
Hold this for a second.
Uh-oh.
It won't spill. I'm going to put this in the ground because I feel if I go back, it's going to go flying or something. It's not going to work. I got to do this. Okay.
See, this is why you got to bring it down because it bubbles.
Okay. Okay.
This is going to be a disaster.
No.
Barrett says, should I donate 500 LOL?
Bring which part down?
We will take your money. Yeah, but bring that part up. Yeah. There you go. Chug, chug, chug. There you go. Oh, this is a frat boy we all know. Look out. That was good. A little bit of practice and he got better.
John Blaze.
Did you close it back up?
I don't think I did. Keep that around. Anyone wants to see another beer bong from a father of two? You guys, 2016 Yoder, more like 2008 Yoder from Zaire. Bravo from John Blaze. Thank you so much, John. You have been the man. I really appreciate it. Trust me, it does not go overlooked that you've been contributed so much to the show from a super chat perspective. Which is something new for us. We haven't done that a ton in the past in the show. A bunch of other shows here at Chat Sports do, and I thought we'll try and figure out. What don't we do is in honor of John's contributions, let's do one wheel spin. Show the people the wheel, tell them what's on it, and then we'll dive into my Michigan TCU preview as we do stupid human tricks. Guys, while we were doing Brett's going to show the wheel. We'll spin the wheel one time. Make sure, if you can, share this link on Facebook or Twitter and see if we can get more Michigan football fans to join the show as we're going to be live for another 30 minutes or so.
All right, you got to sing the fight song.
Sing the fight song. I'll skip that part, right? Hail to the victors, valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors, valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go Blue!
Go Blue!
There we go. All right, so tell the people what's on. Do we ever go over the wheel spin?
Oh, we never did, but I was going to go what's up next on today's show.
Yeah, show them the wheel spin to get a chance, Brad. And then let's show the super chat one more time. I've actually got to do a little wardrobe change, right? So I think I'm going to do a little wardrobe change for this.
It is business time, isn't it?
It's business time.
We're getting into Michigan TCU mega preview. Anyway, what's on the wheel today? $20 gets the wheel spin, but we also just like spinning the wheel.
Mike Layton, he's a helmet guy. Mike, thanks so much for your chat last week. You a helmet guy?
Wig. Write his next tweet. Ooh, at James Yoder.
Okay.
5 push-ups. Yoder needs to get buff because he doesn't work out anymore. Ask me anything. Drink half a beer. Sing the fight song, which we just got. 10 jumping jacks. You don't want to see a grown man do that. Prank call a TCU fan. Ooh, that would be pretty fun.
I tried to pre-tie this. It just didn't work.
Oh, no. It's going to be classy preview. All business preview. Wig for 5 minutes. You guys liked the wig last time I was on the show. This was 2 weeks ago. So, Andrew asking, hashtag Michigan, how does Michigan scheme for Duggan? We're getting into the mega preview. James will talk all about Max Duggan.
Well, tell people what I'm doing now, Brett.
Well, you are trying to tie a tie right now. And watching a grown man tie a tie, this isn't bad.
I very well, but I just can't do it with this.
I was going to give my insights on Max Duggan real quick as a K-State alum / Michigan alum, both. I was in Arlington for the Big 12 championship game. Go Cats. Max Duggan, he's one tough SOB. Yoder's quote, there's no doubt about it. If he's not bleeding, they aren't winning or in the game. He is going to take hits. You have got to just keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. He's not the most accurate quarterback in the history of the world. Keep him in the pocket. Make them throw the ball. If you can cover Quentin Johnston, which is a tough matchup, you'll be all right.
All right, kind of do a little halfy there and there, but let's
take a look at this business report here.
Well, it's
you got to straighten it out a little bit. It's not even under the collar.
It's just impossible to do with these damn cords. Okay, I'm taking the tie off. So I just want to show everybody, got a Michigan tie. Okay, we're gonna go all business because we're doing our preview
Mike
here.
Says forget the tie.
Yeah,
more beer.
I
agree.
More beer. We're gonna just do that. Forget the tie. That's what we're doing. Okay, I try to pre-tie a tie, but with these damn cords going down my neck, but. We are bringing back, because of Roan is being the sponsor, just show you the versatility. I could have put a tie on if I wasn't live on YouTube. We're going to talk sports code on because, folks, it is business time, all right? We are talking Michigan TCU. We're going to talk about our final prediction, what Michigan needs to do to get a victory over the Horned Frogs. Brett, before we jump into that, I think I got it. Want to grab me another Another one of these bad boys.
Yeah. I'll be right
Make
back.
sure you got one.
All right.
All
You're
right.
going to have to talk by yourself.
Uh-huh.
Go.
Michigan TCU preview coming up. We've gone over our live Michigan injury news. Talked about. Yes, please. Yes. We've talked about Makari Paige and taking the safety role, and RJ Moten moving to linebacker to provide more depth. I think obviously for TCU because they've got a really good running game. They need someone to spy on Max Duggan, and maybe that's what this is for, but I actually kind of think it might be more for Georgia with a tight end heavy offense, with a running back heavy offense, not necessarily the wide receivers, the passing game that they had last year. I mean, hell, look at Stetson Bennett's stats compared to even J.J. McCarthy, who we all know that just didn't throw the ball more than 15, 18, 20 times a game from the majority of the season. And I think that's how things will shake out. Olu Oluwatimi, no longer in the boot, participating 100%. Mike Morris, nearly 100%, should be 100% by Saturday. It is the Michigan Football Report, folks. We are going to dive into the show. I'm going to talk about all things Michigan TCU coming up right now. Michigan, TCU, Max Duggan. We all saw it in the game against Kansas State, the Big 12 championship game, in a losing effort, but he has the ability to play hero ball. When things aren't going well for TCU, they just run 3-4 guys down the field. He waits till they take off. He just runs, and he can knock a couple guys over. If you put a linebacker on him that is big, he'll outrun him. A smaller linebacker, he might just lower his shoulder and knock him over, get an extra 6, 8, 10 yards in his own right. Michigan needs to hit him while he's in the pocket, force him to pass the ball, and is doing such. Double think a couple passes, get hit. When you hit him, make sure you do it hard enough that he thinks twice about scrambling later on in the game, because if he is going to be the difference in this game for TCU, win the game, I think it's going to be just like we saw against Kansas State, although they lost the game, is Michigan will be up by 10 points, 14 points in the fourth quarter, and he will play hero ball. Michigan, hit Max Duggan so hard his grandmama can feel it. I think you're going to win this game. It is my TCU Michigan mega preview. I'm your host, James Yoder. We are going to dive into my 5 things Michigan needs to do to win the game, my keys to the victory, as I am rocking a little Michigan Football Report sponsor alert. It is Roan. As you see, I am versatile as hell. I take the Roan shirt. I wear it when we're doing stupid human tricks here at the show. I wear it with a sports coat. I'm going to wear it to go out to dinner later on tonight. I love my Roan. It is roan.com/chatsports. 20% off when you use promo code ChatSports. No spaces. Get the commuter collection. I'm wearing the Roan shirt. And hell, check out these pants. These Roan commuter pants are amazing. All right, guys. We've done this for 2 seasons now. It's worked every single time except for Michigan State last year. I know who you are that didn't like the video, but if you would like Michigan to beat TCU, give me a like on today's video. It is just putting out the good vibes, right? You helping us the show, put this in the feed of more Michigan football fans, so you're doing a good thing for the program, getting more exposure for this show, and it's putting out good vibes, right? All the vibes. Michigan beats TCU. Don't be sitting there on Saturday night, New Year's Eve, the clock strikes midnight. You've been putting your hands over your face for 6 straight hours because Michigan potentially lost. It's all your fault. If you don't like the video, of course it is. All right, so let's take a look at TCU's 3-3-5 defense. As we've gotten closer to game time, right? It's been game week now. Now we're 3 days out from this game. I'm surprised that the spread is not bigger in this game when you think about the defense that TCU is running. And they've given up plenty of points this year at times. They've had a ton of close games, but this defense doesn't make a lot of sense to me for one that could potentially stop Michigan. And I don't want to change my score prediction. I've been saying 35-15 for a few weeks here, but will TCU potentially switch away from their 3-3-5 Big 12 defense? A lot of passing schemes, right? Outside of who's the one team that gave them a lot of trouble? Kansas State. Should have beat them twice if they weren't on their third-string quarterback. Did beat them when all the marbles were on the line to go to the college football playoff. Now, they still made it, but that 3-3-5 defense really seems to struggle against power teams that can use their offensive line, use their tight ends, use 6-7 offensive linemen sometimes to push the pile forward, get running lanes, get things going. I think that it's going to be an interesting thing to see if they stick with that 3-3-5 defense. TCU Insider told me they're going to go man coverage. I was like, all right, good luck. They've got great cornerbacks, much better than Ohio State. But if that's a 3-3-5 defense, 3 guys in the front trying to fill gaps, we saw what Zach Zinter, Olu Oluwatimi, and others did against Ohio State, and they have a hell of a lot more talent than TCU does. How about on offense? Max Duggan, you know the name, the Heisman runner-up, great performances all year. I mean, he did it from the start of the year. And it's really interesting. Both these teams, TCU, Michigan, TCU, Michigan, what do they have in common from the quarterback perspective? Their quarterback in this game was not the opening day starter. Chandler Morris was the starter for TCU. Did he get hurt? I can't even remember what happened with him. He got hurt, and then Duggan came in, who was the starter the last couple seasons, got his starting job back, and never relented it. Kendre Miller. Great stats so far this year. 1,300 yards. He's averaging 100 yards per game or more. 17 touchdowns, though. That is a big-time number. And this guy, Quentin Johnson, might be the best NFL might be the best NFL prospect on this team. So being projected as a first-round draft pick from what we're seeing in all the latest mock drafts. So keep an eye out for those three guys. Now we're going to dive into my 5 keys to beating TCU. And the number one is, it was my number 5. I've moved it up to number 1. Hits to the max, right? Max being Max Duggan. And you can't just hit him once or twice, because you saw what he was doing. And I mean, I can't keep going back to that Big 12 championship game, but that was the game that the entire country was watching. Now, it was a losing effort, but I think everyone gained some respect from what Max Duggan can do against a really strong defense in Kansas State when his team absolutely needed him, down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Now, let's take a look at the stats here. Very good stats. 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 3,300 yards, completing 65% of his passes. But I think he can potentially beat Michigan is not through the pass. I want TCU to pass this game. I want them to throw the ball. I don't want them to have running success, and then Michigan's got to creep up and start the run a little bit, stop the run a little bit. Then the passing game opens up a little bit, or that linebacker, maybe it's R.J. Moten or others, are spying on him. They've got to now come up and give run support, and Max Duggan goes freaking out on the left side, up the right side, up the sideline. He can deliver a hit just as well as he can take one. So where Michigan needs to make an impact when he's passing the ball, get to him and hit him hard, make sure he feels it. Don't hurt him, but make sure he is questioning himself every time he goes to drop back in the pass or goes to scramble. If he gets a scramble, don't let him just slide. If you can, don't get a penalty or anything like that, but lay a hit on him every time he's got the ball in his hands. I think Michigan can then win this game. How about a faster start? What is Michigan's MO been this year? It's been starting relatively slow, right? We're not talking about against Hawaii or Colorado State or UConn when you're up 42 or 49 at halftime. We're talking about against Maryland, against Penn State, right? Against Ohio State, down in a couple of those games. And then it starts getting in the middle of the third quarter, and then all of a sudden Michigan starts taking off. Now, why do they do that? Michigan has been forcing teams to, once they get down 1 score, 3.7 points, forcing teams in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter to pass the ball more than they normally have. Okay, cool. Michigan's secondary has been excellent this year. So that's one good thing from Michigan's perspective. And then Michigan's offensive line takes over. We saw it against Penn State. We clearly saw it against Purdue. We saw it in spades against Ohio State, 75 yards, 85 yards. But what Michigan hasn't faced is the best close game team in the country, and that is the TCU Horned Frogs. Every single game this year, basically, for them has been a 1-score game for the most part, except for 1 or 2 in the fourth quarter. They are the best close game team I've seen in college football in years. The only close game they lost was the game they were down, 10 points right in the fourth quarter, or was it 14? I can't remember. 10 points, came back, tied the ball game, 11. They actually go for 2, you're right, and then went into overtime. We're this close to winning a Big 12 or having the opportunity to win a Big 12 championship. Michigan, I'll feel comfortable. If they're down 3, maybe down 7 at halftime, I'll still feel comfortable. But the odds that they're going to win that game are much lower than teams like Penn State and others. So start faster in this game. I really think Michigan needs to do it to have some comfort going into the third and fourth quarters. Let me know what you guys think, how many passing yards JJ will have against TCU. Look, he's only had 1 300-yard passing game all year so far. So I think anyone predicting 300 yards, 400 yards, anything crazy like that is just setting themselves up for being wrong and being disappointed in some way. So let me know how many passing yards. I'm going to go with 237 yards passing for J.J. McCarthy, 2 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Guys, I'm sure many of you are just like me and have a social life. You have parenting responsibilities, and heck, you'd like to hit the golf course sometimes while on company time. Well, I've got a solution to the hassle of changing clothes between your daily activities. You saw me just do it here live on the Michigan Football Report, and it's the Commuter Collection from Roan Athletic dress pants, shirts, and apparel. I'm rocking a Roan shirt. I'm rocking a Roan commuter pants right now, both part of the commuter collection, which is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge. Here's why you should get Roan. They help you get ready for any occasion with the commuter collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, and polos. You never have to worry about what to wear when you have Roan, the Roan commuter collection. Roan's comfortable 4-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy what life throws your way, from your commute to work to your 18 holes of golf. It's time to feel confident without the hassle. With Roan's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the products. It's that easy. With Gold Fusion, their anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. On top of that, Roan is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaners altogether. Folks, I love being comfort. I love wearing clothes that are flexible. I want to go from the office to the golf course, to the bar, to sushi, hell, to my son's t-ball or soccer game, and I can do so with Roan. Let me show you how this shirt, look how stretchable that shirt is, comes back. This thing was kind of wrinkly when I put it on, looking awesome, where the sports coat, could put a tie on with it, can put shorts on with it, wherever I need. I love wearing my Roan. I've got the Roan shirt, I've got the Roan commuter pants. These things are amazing. It feels like I'm wearing tuxedo pants on the outside. On the inside, it feels like I'm wearing sweatpants. Go to roan.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. 20% off your order and free shipping. All right, why is TCU so good in close games? If you guys remember, a few weeks back, we had Harrison Graham from Chat Sports' College Football Now and a couple of the shows, Bears Now and such. He basically said it all comes down to Max Duggan and then their defense. When things tighten up, their defense has been able to make stops, been able to kind of clamp down on offenses, which is expected of a team that is 12-1 and in the college football playoff. Very similar to Michigan. But what gives them the ability to win 7-point games, 3-point games, 10-point games, 9-point games over? I don't know the answer necessarily. So I asked the question to you guys. I think that all in, they just have something special as a team that all came together this year. Max Duggan kind of took a big leap forward as a quarterback. They've got skill position players, and they've got maybe the best cornerback combo in the country, including the Jim Thorpe Award winner. So those things all combined, I think this game might look like a cakewalk. I've been talking to people in and around the state of Texas. Everyone's like, Michigan by 30, Michigan by 40, Michigan's going to win 50-0. I've heard these from people in Texas who watch TCU closer than I do. I don't think it's that easy for this Wolverines team. My take, folks, is Michigan's one of the best second-half teams, maybe in college football history, but you can't let TCU stick around because they might be one of the best close-game teams college football seen in a number of years. If it's in the fourth quarter, it's a 3-point game, 7-point game. Max Duggan could be the difference for the Horned Frogs. So I think Michigan's my second point on the list today. A faster start for Michigan, I think, is absolutely critical for this team. All right, guys, we'll keep it rolling here. Got more things to get to, but I want to make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. I've been tweeting out all kinds of highlights over the last couple of weeks. Just been retweeting and putting out all the best highlights from the Michigan-Ohio State game, Michigan-Purdue game. Hell, put Dononvan Edwards' pass in the Big Ten Championship game last year up on my Twitter earlier on Wednesday. So make sure you're following me. It's at James Yoder on Twitter. All right, how about number 3? Stop the run, more pass. Why do I say that? Best games this year for TCU, the games that they weren't necessarily always in close one-score battles down the stretch or when teams had to come back on them, are the games that they were able to run the ball and then passing became easy. So Max Duggan, although he is the Heisman runner-up, I don't necessarily think that he's a guy who can sit in the pocket and pick Michigan apart. He can, though, if they're breaking off 6, 7, 8 yards every time that they carry the ball with Kendre Miller. Let's take a look at the stats here. Last 3 games, 42 carries, 195 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, the one thing in general here, the 4 touchdowns are good, but he's only averaging 60 yards a game or so, 65 yards a game over the last 3. And TCU has actually struggled in a couple of those and got their first loss. So you limit Kendre Miller, force Max Duggan to pass the ball more. I think Michigan is going to have a much easier time with this team. Now, in general, I think Michigan's defense has not seen an offense identical to TCU. Probably the most identical offense I could probably say to them might be Georgia, just with better rated players, right? Better ground game, doesn't throw the ball a ton, quarterback who can scramble but isn't necessarily a huge running threat, and we saw with that kind of offense with Georgia, with obviously better players, did against Michigan last year. Sitting at 25,466, subscribers here on YouTube, almost over 500 from when we started last week's live show. So I had 500 in the past week. If you guys watch, we hit 25,000 live on air. We popped champagne, got nuts, tossed some confetti up last week. So if you've yet to do so, please subscribe. It's youtube.com/Michigan TV. Don't let TCU win the 50-50 balls. And what I mean by that, the jump balls, when they have the opportunity, when they need a play, and I think from the film I've seen of them, it's kind of weird. I hate, as a fan, when it's 3rd and 12, when the team throws the jump ball 40 yards downfield, but TCU does it with a higher frequency than I've expected a lot of teams to do, and they win a lot of them. And that's the problem. It kind of reminds me of Penn State a number of years ago, where they were just winning jump balls left and right, and that became their entire offense. I think it was the 2016 season when they won the Big Ten. This is the guy they're going to go to, Quentin Johnston. Top 30 NFL prospect, probably be a first-round draft pick, 53 catches, 903 yards. Now, only 5 touchdowns, but if he gets deep with Will Johnson, with any admissions, DJ Turner, with G-Mon Green, he is going to get up and win those jump balls over Michigan's wide receivers, probably more often than not. And so what Michigan needs to do is make sure you shadow him, make sure you have help coming over the top, because if he's left outside one-on-one, just kind of like the one long touchdown Ohio State had with Marvin Harrison. He didn't necessarily win a jump ball, but that ball was right there for Michigan to make a play on. The Ohio State player, obviously a 5-star, came through, All-American player, and made the catch. Quentin Johnston is a legit deep threat, legit NFL wide receiver. Michigan needs to be very cognizant of him. They cannot run the same defense against TCU as they ran against Ohio State because of the running threat of Max Duggan, and so that leaves more opportunities for the wide receivers for TCU to get downfield in one-on-one situations. And last but not least, I don't think any team in college football, outside of maybe Georgia and maybe Ohio State potentially, but we saw they couldn't do it, can score 30 points on this Michigan defense. So if Michigan scores 30 points, they should win the game. I've got my score prediction as 35-15. That's really what I'm hoping for. And I think whether Michigan scores 30, more than 30, less than 30, it's going to come down to J.J. McCarthy. He's really had an outstanding last couple games. 6 of his 20 passing touchdowns have come against Ohio State and Purdue in the last 2 games. Only 3 interceptions. One of those was a really bad pass. One of them wasn't necessarily his fault, and one of them definitely wasn't his fault. So he's had an excellent TD to interception ratio so far this year. J.J. McCarthy, can he continue to grow with 28 days between their last game and this one? Can he kind of take this as a renewed fall camp, a renewed spring football, taking all the number 1 snaps and open up the ball through the air, put the ball where it needs to go to put Michigan in the end zone? I've got it at Michigan 35-15. Let me know what you guys are thinking. We can probably skip that part about me predicting the score because I just gave it away. I've probably done that a couple times throughout the show. My score prediction, 35-15. Predict the score down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Will Michigan get the win against TCU? 35-15 is my prediction. Let me know what yours are in the live chat or down in the comments. We have kind of completed the segments portion. We've got one more live Q&A. I'm going to give a few shout-outs to the score predictions. Take a sip of water.
Let's get those hashtag Michigans back in. Let's get some of those questions going again.
Use hashtag Michigan to get your question in live on the show. It's the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports. Want to see what's going on here on the live chat. Chat rate stinks, right? Not that many chats come in. So give me your score prediction as you saw. 35-15 is what I've got. 52-17 from Michigan Football 4. Like this one from Jersher Burke Beckham again. He's got TCU didn't play anyone good. Had too many close
programs.
Games. Yep, shit programs. 41-17 from LJ Wolverine. I got a question coming in from Michigan Football. No chance it's 15. They won't kick that off in 17 or even 10 plus 3 fourth down fails. Look, I think TCU is going to really move the ball in between the 20s. I really think they are. But where Michigan's defense has performed amazingly, preposterously good this year is inside the 20. Their red zone defense is as good as I've ever seen from a Big Ten team in my entire lifetime. So I think TCU will get inside the 20 a number of times, get inside the 30 5 times. This is going to kick 5 field goals, maybe miss one of them, maybe 6 times miss a field goal, where Michigan will score 5 touchdowns. I think that's the difference in the game. Michigan's really improved as of late when they get in the red zone. And with Dononvan Edwards, you get maybe the best deep threat from a running perspective, or hell, even catching the ball in all of college football. Guys, keep using hashtag Michigan. Get those questions in the show. They'll pop to the top of the queue for producer Brett behind the scenes. We're sitting at 169 likes in the show. Can we get to 200 likes before we dive into the last portion of today's live Michigan football report? Go ahead and like the video. It'll put this video in the feed of more college football fans, in the feed of more Michigan football fans, as tons of people, everybody's using YouTube these days. And I guess, you know what the interesting thing, Brett, is when you close the YouTube app or the Twitter app, apparently, or you go to something else, it doesn't actually. I thought it actually just was tweet for you. It just kind of sits there pending until you go back into the tweet. So I don't think my video, my behind the scenes of me slapping Tom from about 30 minutes ago, it still hasn't. It's just tweeting out right. Just tweeting out right. 99%. There you go. If you guys want to go to my Twitter account,
Come on,
the behind the scenes of me slapping Tom Downey about 40 minutes ago live when he was doing a YouTube show during an ad read is now on the channel. You want to show it one more time here in the show for people who didn't see it? No? All right,
Sure, why not?
We got two $50 super chats. One from John Blaze. Who's the other one from? I forget the name. Dylan
Carson.
as well. I went and slapped Tom Downey live on NFL Daily by Chat Sports as he was doing an ad read. Here it is.
This is pretty fun.
Scan your first receipt. That's chatsports.com/fetch.
Watch this.
Hey!
One more time.
He did it. He did it again.
And then he's like, "Oh, I didn't get you, Tom. I didn't get you on the phone." I just tweeted this video out
Here you
behind
go.
the scenes.
Okay, hold on. We'll do it right.
Okay, I'll take my helmet.
We're mid-fetch read, by the way.
All right. You got the blonde hair swinging in the wind there from Tom Downey over
Okay.
there at YouTube.com.
Here's what we're going to do.
At Chat Sports.
We're going to cut that out of the cut,
Tom
and we'll
did
just take one of the
ad
fetch
read
reads from
for
later and put it in there.
He's still going.
Very
It's unbelievable.
That is some pretty good stuff, as I said. I just tweeted out as well. Slapping an OSU fan. I'm not sure how much of an OSU fan. Tom kinda, yeah. He's from the state of Ohio, though. Grew up in Cincinnati, so it's as good as an OSU diehard fan as we are going to get. Make sure you guys are using hashtag Michigan to get your questions on the show. We're going to take about 12 minutes or so more of your questions here on the Michigan Football Report. I am your host, James Yoder. You're watching the Michigan Football Report. Folks, it is game day. We're going to put this cutout on game day morning Saturday. We're filming it on Wednesday evening with our YouTube live show. Taking your questions using hashtag Michigan or Super Chats. We've got our first question coming up from Andrew Lane. What's Andrew saying? He says, how does Michigan scheme for Doug? I mean, I think as I've thought about it more, just literally like kind of having thoughts in my mind as we've been doing this show, I think there could be something to R.J. Moten moving from safety, right? Lost his starting job to Makari Paige, moving from safety to linebacker, of spying R.J. Moten, right? I think Mike Barrett, if you watch in certain games this year, Maryland in particular, maybe Penn State a little bit, Junior Colson and Mike Barrett had trouble sticking with quarterbacks out of the backfield or running backs coming out to receive the passes out of the backfield, and potentially R.J. Moten moving from a safety position where he is having to make tackles in the open field all the time, sometimes. And then, of course, covering tight ends, covering running backs out of the backfield. That could potentially be a surprise wrinkle from this defense. Now, I originally thought when I saw it is they're doing it to have more linebacker help, more depth against Georgia and their tight end, 3 or 4 tight ends that can really, take care of the ball upfield and get down and catch passes. But maybe it's for this game against TCU. Maybe it's for spying Max Duggan. But in general, I just think with a running quarterback, you got to make him think twice before he takes off and runs the ball. Every time he passes the ball, every time he drops back, you got to get a hit on him. When he does run, don't let him just slide. Don't get a penalty, but get a hit on him before he goes down and slide, and he'll kind of start questioning himself every time he goes to leave the pocket, or hell, even time when he goes back to throw a pass. If you guys haven't yet, follow me. It's at James Yoder. I'm going to follow back the next 5 people who give me a follow on Twitter. It is at James Yoder. If you get a chance, Producer Brett, toss that bad boy. I've actually got it right here in the live chat. I'll toss it. It's also in the comments and the description of today's video. Give me a follow. I'm going to follow back the next 5 people as we hit 10,000 followers a week ago. We're now at about 10,100, so appreciate you if you followed already. But if you want to get a return follow back, just hit me at James Yoder on Twitter. Who will be the X factor on both sides of the ball? I've got 2. We've got Colson Loveland. I'm going to show his stats really quick. I think on offense it's going to be Colson Loveland. I think we're looking at an emerging team right now this year that's really going to propel Michigan to a legendary season again next year. if I were to put Michigan's best 4 players, that's not best 4 players. Best is maybe not fair to offensive linemen and others. Let's just say most impactful players when it comes to having the ball in their hand or making plays on the ball. It's true freshman Colson Loveland, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. Ohio State, Purdue. It's true sophomore Dononvan Edwards, 2 touchdowns against Ohio State, 200 yards. A touchdown against Purdue, another almost 200 yards as well. J.J. McCarthy, 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games in the air, 1 on the ground. True sophomore. How about the defensive side? Who's Michigan's best player in defense? How about Will Johnson? 2 interceptions against Purdue, true freshman. So you may have two sophomores, 2 true freshmen that are among your most impactful players. Now, that's doing a big disservice to Zach Sinter and Olu Oluwatimi, because I think those guys are really what has made this Michigan team go, especially against Ohio State. But impact players making plays on the ball, those 4 guys going forward. So those are my X factors. Thinking Will Johnson on defense. We all know about J.J. McCarthy. We all, of course, know about Donovan Edwards. But how about Colson Loveland on offense? Expecting huge games from both those guys. Today's Michigan Football Report is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is a super easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything that you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt, and you earn points for your purchases. And the process only takes seconds, so you don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. So let me show you here how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, you press the orange camera button, and snap a photo, folks, of your receipt, and then you hit the submit button, and you will see that confetti pop showing that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click on the e-receipt function and get rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping, or hell, Uber receipts, Instacart as well, just by syncing up your email account. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or any of hundreds of retailers and restaurants available. Fetch is available for iPhone or Android. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch. That's chatsports.com/fetch. You see it down at the bottom of the screen. You see it in the copy of the video we're putting in the live chat as well. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch. Enter promo code chat. Sign up and get 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a $5 free gift card. It's a free app. iPhone, receipt. Android. Go to chatsports.com/fetch. It'll drop you on the store to download it for iPhone or Android. And make sure you use that promo code chat. Scan your first receipt, and you get 5,000 bonus points. Use Fetch, support the show, support our sponsors who help keep these shows for free, and get rewarded for all of your purchases. It's a free app, and you get points and redeem those points for gift cards. What's to lose? Go download Fetch right now, chatsports.com/fetch. Guy from the UP. Is that Guy Fieri? I think it might be. I wonder if it's actually him. Probably not. What position group will see the most transfers after the playoffs are over? Good question. Interesting question. I think it's not one Michigan's really talking about, because Michigan's only had a few, Lewis Hanson, right? 5th string tight end, and then Eric All, Cade McNamara. Starting tight end, starting quarterback last year, game 1. Both lost their jobs. Cade to performance, Eric All to injury, now on to Iowa. But interesting question to think about, because Michigan's got to lose the guys, right? They're way over budget for 85 scholarships going into next season. I think one area that you'll see some unexpected transfers is, probably the offensive line, right? Because you're bringing in 3 starters from the Pac-12, 2 from Stanford, 1 from Arizona State. I don't think any of those guys are guaranteed any starting positions, but I would potentially see the offensive line, and then maybe the linebacker position. If you're bringing in a star in Ernest Hausman from Nebraska, a star freshman, that's kind of making me think that they're not happy with the guys they've got as underclassmen. Also, I've heard some rumblings about wide receiver, maybe see a transfer or 2 right there. Potentially even defensive line. Actually, George Rook's already left. So those 3 positions, wide receiver for Michigan, of course, offensive line, then also maybe even the defensive line. We'll see how it plays out, though, over the next couple weeks. I don't expect any Michigan players to transfer until after the final game for the Wolverines, which, of course, will be on January 9th. But if there are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If there are any transfers, any impact players, any future impact players that transfer away from this program, you will know about it here on the Michigan Football Report, YouTube's only daily Michigan football show during the season. We're at 25,466 subscribers. Let's get to 26,000 by game time. By the end of the game, how about on Saturday against TCU? We are just 534 away. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't, or send that link. Help us, recommend it to a friend. The best recommendations in life come from your friends. Send them the link, youtube.com/MichiganTV. Do you think Moody could be the difference from Bill Graves? I sure as hell hope not, because I think Michigan over the last month, outside the Illinois game, maybe that was the outlier where he was the difference, but over the last 5 games, let's say, outside of Illinois, Michigan has really kind of overcome their red zone issues. J.J. McCarthy has felt more comfortable passing the red zone. Dononvan Edwards and prior to that, Blake Corum have felt they've started to get into, not being stopped at the 3-yard line. They're getting in there, and Michigan's been a little more creative passing the ball, passes to Ronnie Bell and others, where the first 7 games of the year, 8 games of the year, there was that stretch after UConn, Colorado State, and Hawaii, first 5 games of the Big Ten season that really struggled to get the ball in the end zone. So I hope not, but if we're going to rely on a kicker, who better than the best kicker in the history of the Michigan football program, Lou Groza Award winner from the 2021 season, All-American Jake Moody. If it comes down to that, I would not want the foot of anyone other than Jake Moody kicking the ball if it's a 50-yarder, 47-yarder, 52-yarder, 35-yarder to win the game for this team. Mark Majkowski says, how many TDs plus third down, first downs for? Okay, so I get what he's saying. How many touchdowns for him, and then how many times does he get a first down on third down for Khalil Mullings? Yards over under 60. I'm going to say way under 60, all right? I'm going to say 16 yards. And that might be crazy. I'm going to help with this. I'm going to set the over under at 16. So, 50-50 that he goes over or under. But if he gets even close to 25, I would be very surprised. But I'll say 2 times he will either convert the ball, convert a goal line situation for a touchdown or a third down for a first down. I'll go 2 impactful carries, third and short that turns into first down, or second down, third down, hell, even fourth down and goal, and gets in the end zone, and maybe just 16 to 20 yards rushing for the day. I'll say 4 carries for Mullings, 1 first down, maybe a touchdown, and 17 yards rushing. Mark Miller, do you think that TCU will make some mistakes as OSU, the same mistakes as OSU, and try and load the box to stop the run? They will make that mistake, but what they have that Ohio State doesn't have is 2 big-time cornerbacks. I heard a podcast a couple days ago, TCU beat writer. He says, well, our guy won the Thorpe Award, best guy in secondary, best corner in the country, but if he wasn't there, our other corner would have won it. So some people think our own Harrison Graham says, well, corner number 2, and I'm forgetting their names at this point, he was better half the games than the guy who won the Thorpe Award. So Michigan, if they are going to have success against that, man defense that Ohio State ran, if TCU runs as well, I think it's the hope that TCU keeps the 3-3-5 defense and doesn't have the big boys up front. Ohio State had 4 and 5 up defensive linemen, but then their linebackers came in and they either missed the gap or go watch those 2 plays. There is some film out there. I put it on Twitter. It's on YouTube as well, of Dononvan Edwards' 2 touchdown runs. It is really amazing how Zach Zinter and Olu Oluwatimi, they created the hole for both those long touchdown runs. They block 4 guys between them. It's like they line up, and it's like, we're going to block this way, then we're going to block this way, then we're going to separate the hole. It's like Oluwatimi goes this way, blocks a guy. He goes this way, blocks the other guy, and then he kind of goes and he blocks a second guy. So it was 3 blocks, 2 blocks. It was amazing to watch those 2 guys work in tandem, and they created just enough crease. 2.5 feet for Donovan would just slip through, and it's off to the races and gone. So if TCU brings a 3-3-5 defense, even if they got 6 or bring a safety down 7 in the box, I think Michigan's going to have an absolute field day against them with the running game. Couple super chats coming in. Mark Shorian, you're going to sticker Mark, so we're going to get your name here on the Michigan Football Report. If you guys are watching this on game day, $10 super chat gets you on the helmet. We've run out of room in the helmet. I got one coming in a couple days, and we will have one for a show next week. Got 2 new helmets coming. He says, go Blue. Do you think Michigan's defense tries the same scheme against Ohio and doesn't respect Max Duggan's run game? They better not. All right? They better not. I'm going to write Mark's name down here. If Michigan doesn't account for the running ability of Max Duggan, they are in for a world of hurt. They really are. Because C.J. Stroud, Coleridge Stroud, one of the softest players in college football, he can run. Look at his freshman year. Some of his best plays when he came in for Justin Fields were in the running game. As I'm going to give Mark a spot on the whiteboard taken up for the helmet, so we'll get you on the helmet next week, Mark. They've got to account for him. So it's a different defensive perspective. TCU's got a better running game than Ohio State. Worse receivers, but maybe a better individual receiver because of the deep ball threat that he can bring, and then a running quarterback. So it's got to be a different defense. They've got to account for Max Duggan, and they have got to win the ground game against TCU, their ground game, by only keeping 4 guys on the defensive line. If they can do that, it's game over for TCU. But if they can't, they're bringing another threat with that running game with the quarterback that Michigan has just really not seen so far this year. Couple shout-outs here to close Super Chats. Captain Nemo, he says, FOSU, let's go blue, beat TCU. FOSU, 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 FOSU. FOSU. Let's go blue. All right, let's go. Cody, mom for Cody. Thank you so much. I know, Cody, we were putting some helmets earlier. We were making sure we were covering over from last week because we got the helmet. Look at that right there, Cody. Where my hand is. You see that bad boy? God, it's good. Cody Mumford right there with the helmet stickers. I've got the wig all over. There's hair from the wig on this helmet. He says, nothing special to say. Just love the show, sir. Cody, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really appreciate everyone. We've had a great year. I'll look back on this season, 30 years from now, 20 years from now, and say I was, privileged enough to talk to, well over 500,000 people a month so far this season have watched the show. The biggest platform now, we're outdoing the numbers we're doing are certainly by far the biggest on YouTube, but from the numbers we've seen, bigger than any radio station. And it's not because of you. It's you guys have engaged and have spread the gospel. And I'll look back in 20 years and say, wow, I was able to be a small part of a special season, a potential national championship season for Michigan. And I really want to thank you guys for joining in to the fun. It is, we're going to put this out on the morning of game day. So, guys, I will see you later tonight if you're watching on Saturday. And we are either going to go live celebrating a Michigan win over TCU, or we are going to be, drinking our sorrows away on New Year's Eve. Either way, till I see you, go blue. All right, we're going to wrap the show up, guys, but I will give some more shout-outs. Maybe we'll do a stopwatch. I don't know. People do that still. Brett here at the company, we still do stopwatches. If we get any super chats, we'll stay live. You know what the problem with these on-clouds is? They untie like nobody's business. They're great shoes, but they untie like nobody's business. I had to tie the shoes 3 or 4 times. Jaisher Beckham won. Give me a me. So if you want to shout out here in the Michigan Football Report, give me a me in the comments. We got 209 people watching. Sometimes it's tough to see that live number. Becky and Chad, the old school day ones, not old school like you guys are old school, but you've been with us for a long time. Becky and Chad, appreciate it. M. Glenn 3232 is a me. Mark Majkowski, etc. Yes, Khalil is a comic book name. I didn't know what that is, but I do expect Mullings to be running back 2 versus TCU. I expect Khalil Mullings to be running back 2 versus TCU. I just don't think they're going to give him the damn ball unless the game's out of hand, unless it's like a 3rd down and 1 situation. I mean, just think about the balls it took from Sharon Moore and Jim Harbaugh to let Khalil Mullings, who a week prior was the 5th linebacker on this team, to go into the game, run the ball on Ohio State around midfield, and kind of jump up and throw the ball. I mean, if he had any arm at all, if he could throw the ball more than 50 feet, that was a walk-away touchdown. And it's just disappointing that Dononvan Edwards still has that cast in his hand, because I just watched the film last night again, this morning actually, of him throwing that 45-yard absolute dime to Roman Wilson against Iowa last year. I think that could be a play they pull out of their butts against TCU. Maybe they'll hold it for the national title game. Keep giving them me's. Mr. Gary Something is a me. Jason McBride, it's been awesome listening to you, Yoder. Appreciate you, Jason. You're a huge part of my Michigan football season. Thank you so much. You are as well as mine. You guys, we can't do the show. We had no audience. We couldn't do the show, so it's all about you guys. Bill Graves, Yoder rules, me. Thanks so much, Bill. Thomas H is a me as well. We got Go Blue from Frank Holloway. Frank Holloway. Cassness is a me. LJ, hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, 200 likes. Let's hit 200 likes before we go on. Can we get of the 200 of you watching, the 9 who haven't hit like, can we get 200 before we sign off as we're getting ready to end the show? Brett, tell people what are you doing, Brett? What are you doing after this? Tomorrow.
I'm going to Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl. Brett's heading to see Kansas State, Alabama, down there in New Orleans.
Got to drive because of the Southwest.
Thanks, Southwest.
Debacle.
Yeah, bums.
Straight up debacle.
Who do you think's going to win that game? Prediction?
Cats by 1.
Cats by 1. He's calling for the upset. Me from Anthony Johnson. Go Blue BTCU from Mark Shorian. Zaire says me. You're the best from Mr. Gary Something. You're the best, Mr. Gary. Go Blue. Troy gives me a me as well. Has said he couldn't see the receiver and threw to an error. That's what it is. I mean, Khalil Mullings, he couldn't see it because you could tell like the line was in his face. He said he couldn't see it. He just knew he was supposed to throw the ball and got the ball about 15 yards downfield. Love your vids from Michigan Football 4 and Jason McBride. The decision for Mullins with the ball shows how much fun they're having this year. Michigan's having fun. The fans having fun. Jim Harbaugh is having fun. Really appreciate you guys. All right, guys, we're going to put about these segments up on tonight, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday morning. So the next time I will see you guys live is or on demand with our news video, is after the game on Saturday. Let's go Blue. Like the video. Don't jinx it. Until I see you guys after the game on Saturday, go Blue.